Hello and welcome to the ARC Beacon, a regular video advocacy report for California's disability community. I'm Jordan Lindsay, Executive Director of the ARC of California, and we are bringing you these timely updates on policies, decisions, legislation that impact individuals, children, adults with developmental disabilities and their families and the workforce that supports them. So through these updates, we've been shining light on what's been happening at both the state and federal levels, sharing opportunities for you to get involved, how you can advocate, and how we can work together to move our community forward and protect essential supports and services that so many Californians rely on. So for this week, we are going to be talking about the recent staffing cuts to the Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services. You may have heard that on last Friday, it was announced that the Office of Special Education, which at one time had hundreds of employees, had now been eliminated down to only about 4 employees, is what we're hearing. So in essence, completely gutting the Office of Special Education Services. What does that mean for you, for us as Californians who may have children and students who receive special education services, maybe a special education teacher, maybe a part of a district? We want to give you some quick information here of what we know right now. So, the Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services, or also called OSERS, what does it do? How does it impact us? 1, it funds special education programs. So, OSERS allocates the billions of dollars to states, including California, under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA. The IDEA is the monumental piece of federal legislation that ensures education, including free and appropriate public education or FAPE. So it funds special education, and it also provides the office provides compliance with IDEA. So it monitors state compliance. So the agency works with California. It may help implement special education laws. States must submit annual plans to the office. And if there's any oversight needed, if parents need to have enforcement or oversight of IDEA, then the office, OSERS, may be involved. So 2 things we want you to know. 1, IDEA is still a law. Just because the office has been completely gutted doesn't mean it's not a law. It's still enforceable by law. It's just a matter of who will enforce it. So that may mean that our advocacy efforts will have to be at the state level more than the federal, perhaps litigation, we don't know yet. 2, IDEA is still funded for at least a year. The funding is a year in advance. So we know that at least a year of funding is still there for IDEA. And if they try to gut the funding, then that would likely take an act of Congress. They can gut the office, but not necessarily the funding under IDEA. We're going to wait and see how that is impacted. So what else does the office do? Well, vocational rehabilitation is supported by the office. California receives funding for vocational rehabilitation programs that help people with disabilities achieve employment and greater independence. And then also it's involved with early intervention, promoting services and supports and funding for early intervention, and offers guidance and resources to schools, districts, states, etc. about special education services. So in summary, OSERS is a vital source of funding, oversight, and policy guidance from the federal government that helps ensure California's children and adults with disabilities receive the education and services they're legally entitled to. Now, you may have heard that earlier this week, a judge stopped the staffing cuts as a result of the government shutdown. So that is paused. And that does apply to the Office of Special Education. However, the judge's ruling is only applicable to the government shutdown period. So if or when we are done with the government shutdown, then the president can just fire all those people in the Office of Special Education again, just like he normally has with other offices. So while it provides some very temporary protection of those positions, it is not safe permanently. but what can you do to help save these positions at the Office of Special Education to ensure that special education services have proper oversight and enforcement? Below is a link to contact your federal government official, your representative, and it's from the ARC of the United States. And we have heard already that 30,000 people across the country in just a few days have already contacted their federal representative about this. You can add your voice right now by clicking there. It only takes about 1 minute to do so. In conclusion, there's a lot of question marks right now from parents, advocates, individuals about what gutting the Office of Special Education means. What we know it means is that advocacy must be stronger at the state and federal level, which is why we're going to make sure we're involved with your advocacy collective across the state and support you in supporting students with special education services. Thank you for watching. We'll update more as we learn more, but please stay connected, stay informed. Until our next time, be well.